Solace!
I'm not sure if you're a fellow broadcaster asking me to start an interview or you're a ring announcer asking the wrestler to come down from like
a little bit of both. All
right. Well, welcome back to The Link, everybody. We're glad to have you on here on a Tuesday morning. And I am bringing in some very lovely local ladies who really care about the community and are doing wonderful things to make sure that we stay healthy, stay mentally stable, and just enjoy this amazing island and the amazing community we have. We have, of course, Muñeca de Oro and her sister Francesca de Oro. Ladies, half a day. Always good to see you.
Half a day.
And I guess I would be remiss if I neglected Muñeca. Who else have you got today? We have.
We also have Caitlin McManus, and this is my niece. Her name is Dylan Irie. She's visiting from South Carolina.
Hey, hi. Half a day, Dylan.
Half a day. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Dylan. Half a day.
Say half a day.
And then, of course, Katie McManus is here. Katie, we're a big fan of your work, and especially because we are now in PCOR 3, and things are starting to ease up a little bit. Although we keep reminding the community, please stay socially distant, wear your masks and everything. But I just wanted to kind of like go around, ladies, and talk about what you're doing, and maybe start off with this amazing yoga program that you have put together.
Yes, so we're coming up. It's Chamorro month that just started, and we're coming up with a lot of events to commemorate the 500th anniversary of the people of our Chamorro ancestors rescuing and saving Magellan and his contact here in the Marianas. And one of the ways that we wanted to commemorate that is by doing something focusing on healing and on wellness of our people, and really activating and creating intentions for the next 500 years. So we created a Yoga Mala event with multiple partners on the island to have a festivities that honor our ancestry, connect us to this land, and deepen our appreciation for all the history that we've been through.
Very cool.
We have Katie McManus here, who's the founder of Mantras for the Marianas, who will be present to add some sonic healing and the Chamorro language and mantras and chants in Chamorro that will coincide and just add to the overall Yoga Mala event, which is a practice that Francesca can speak a little bit more about.
Yeah, Francesca. Admittedly, I'm a little bit in the dark about this because I've done yoga before, and I remember kind of like doing some research and getting into the whole spiritual side as well as and the physical, and how you're conditioning your body and how you have to prepare yourself. I mean, it is a spiritual and mental as well as physical thing. So when we try and apply this with the local culture and who we are as a people, how have you tried to integrate that?
Sure. So a yoga mala is actually a physical object. It's a garland of beads similar to like a rosary with 108 beads. And in yoga, the yoga practice, the physical aspect is only one small part of the entire yoga practice. Mm-hmm. So the yoga mala is used in meditation. And practicing the 108 prayers or mantras all in a row is a devoted offering, and it symbolizes a cycle. So you get the sense of beginning, continuing, and completion within one yoga mala, doing 108 repeated offerings of physical practice, mantra, meditation, and pranayama, which is breath. So
and you said
this yoga mala. Yes. So
wow, that makes the rosary look like nothing. That makes the rosary look easy.
Yeah, it really does. But the reason why we wanted to do this event, and with this number 108, this is a sacred number in Hindu culture as well as in other cultures. But for us, it's about having a devoted practice and having a really deep practice. So you can go a little bit deeper than you would in like a 1-hour yoga class, and you can really get into the mantras, you can really get into the movements, into that place of divine connection, of a sense of self beyond yourself, which is the ultimate goal of yoga. So this is also about our traditional cultural practices and feeling that interconnection between ourselves and nature and one another through our breath, through our movement, through our prayers and offerings, which is also indigenous to us as Chamorro people. So we're just using the format of the Yoga Mala, paying homage to the yoga practice itself, but infusing it with our local culture, especially with the offering of mantra. So yeah, I'm really excited about how the event's going to turn out because it's the first time I'm doing something like this. I've done a yoga mala on my own, and I've done like a really infused yoga workshop before with Kat Barnett and Jelena Santos, who are fellow Chamorro yoga teachers. So I'm just really excited because I think it's going to be a really transformational and really beautiful event.
No, that is very, very cool. And I know, like, when I was first getting into yoga, I remember noting some of the parallels, between Hinduism and Chamorro culture on certain levels, and then, even Catholicism and everything like that. It's like, there's a lot of things that you can say, we can draw from each other. So, Katie, when you came up with incorporating our Micronesian region culture here and incorporating this into traditional yoga and everything like that, was it difficult to do, or how did you kind of like structure this and try and make it? Because I can totally see when it comes to the Chamorro chanting and the breathing and really getting that sense of connecting with our ancestors, while feeling that spiritual element as well as the physical.
Mantras for the Marianas was created to just actually encourage more of our Tautau to send their energy and vibrations towards healing. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the scientific part of this, because a lot of people I've talked to, they're kind of confused. They're like, how does chanting heal? How does doing mantras heal? So all indigenous cultures have used chanting in the past. Our own ancestors have used this to heal. And recently, a scientist by the name of Dr. Masaru Emoto actually proved that our thoughts and intentions can change the molecular structure of water. You need to look him up. He even has a book called The Hidden Messages of Water. And what he did is so amazing. He took 5 milliliter samples of water, and then he spoke love and healing to some of them, and anger and hate to some of them, and then he froze them. And with his microscope and his high technology, he was able to observe that the molecular structures of the water that he spoke healing and love to became beautifully crystallized, and the ones that he spoke hate and anger to became blurry and ugly. And then he took polluted water from a polluted lake in Japan, and he spoke love and healing to it, and he actually cleaned it. So this is not some make-believe thing. Like water, he proved that water has memory. I know I don't know, there's probably kids out there that watch Frozen and they heard Olaf say water has memory and they think it's just make believe. It's actually real. So this is real. Our ancestors and even native people like the Native Americans and all over the world, they've talked about how water is sacred. For thousands of years, they say water is sacred, and they have chants and songs for the water. And sadly, we don't know that many of our ancient chants, our Chamorro chants, because of colonization. So we've created some, we're bringing that back now. Colonization changed a lot of how we think. And I grew up in a religious family, and I still hold on to my faith. But actually, no, and I think that's great that a lot of people in Guam pray, because no matter your religion, I believe your prayers are powerful. Sure. We are sending love and intentions out to the world, and it does heal. So these chants are affirming healing over our land, our water, our air, and our islands, as our islands face more trauma, and pollution and destruction and just everything, and even the people, the sickness and stuff. So we're going to be affirming healing over all our islands in the Marianas and our Tautau.
Okay, and ladies, I know, and I believe it was Katie, that you're the one who penned these beautiful prayers. Mantras of the Marianas. You can find them on Instagram, guys. Mantras Marianas, and we really, really suggest that you go follow.
Facebook, and then I'm working on the website. I'll have that done by tomorrow. Excellent. But yeah, right now we're just on Instagram.
Okay, so I would not do justice if I tried to recite, these prayers, because these are words that were penned by you, and I want to give you the honor of reading them. But ladies, if the three of you can maybe introduce these, I have the videos or the graphics actually that we're going to pop up on the screen. So maybe if you could recite these prayers that you've written and everything, and then kind of tell what they'll do to someone, to their mind and spirit.
Okay. Hold on, let me get. So I'm gonna say the prayer. Um, we changed the name from Panaytai to Tanazazut, which is a prayer with intentions. And this is the beginning prayer we say before we open up into our mantras. Peri iga litsan, peri iga lagu, peri iga katan, peri iga hadza. Asaina hua ageng hao unisita du pagu nui sagunmu. Asaina hua ageng hao unisita du pagu nui sagunmu. And so we're calling out for the west, north, east, south, and then we're saying, ancestors, I'm calling you, I need your guidance now. And then you repeat that, ancestors, I'm calling you, I need your guidance now. And then we start with the mantras. And for the event, we're going to be starting off with the mantra for the water, and we're going to do it 3 times to the north, 3 times to the east, 3 times to the south, and 3 times to the west, because we're affirming the healing to the water in all directions. And then we're going to do 2 more mantras after that, or chants after that. Chants, mantras, whatever.
And this is very, very interesting, ladies. And jump in here as you see free, because like when I was reading those words, and it's a beautiful prayer. Our culture traditionally, like when we we'll speak in Chamorro, or we'll say like a passage or a prayer to reach out to our ancestors. Typically, it's to ask respect or to pay homage and everything. I like how you phrase it right now. It's like, ancestors, I'm calling on you. I need your guidance. We're soliciting their wisdom. The experience that they had going back hundreds of years, and we're actually asking them to help us, with their guidance. I think that's a beautiful thing. That's also very like I believe that's there's a lot of European cultures. There's a lot of I think it's Scandinavian cultures that or Nordic Norwegian, I should say, that tend to do that, and they draw upon their like fathers, give me strength. Help me as I go upon my way.
Yeah, I think they took care of the land, and they took care of the water and everything the way we should be doing it, and we do really need to go back to learning those ways so that we can have a healthier environment and we can be healthier as a people, especially if our health is, something we need to take care of right now. If we heal the earth, we heal ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Some a little wisdom from yoga about prayer and meditation. So when it's said that when we pray, we're asking the universe our big questions. We're asking our guides for what our biggest questions are. And then when we sit and we meditate, that's when we can get our big answers. So both the prayer and the meditation are important components to this. So the prayers and the mantra that we do set our intention. They solidify what we are showing up for when we go into our practice. And at the end, and when we have the time to finally sit and reflect after we put in the energy into the movement, into the prayer, into the breath, and then we just relax our minds and come into a sense of place and a sense of clarity, that's when we will receive, hopefully, a clear connection between us and our ancestral guides and our ancestral wisdom. It's also that's an ancient Chamorro cultural belief that still survives today, that our ancestors are with us, that they speak to us in prayer and in dreams and in the land. And I think this is a beautiful way for us to continue that connection between us and our ancestors and share that with each other.
May I ask, when you have done these and you've said these words, and then when you're immersed in in the moment, and and during the practice of yoga, have you actually felt a connection, and have our ancestors reached out to you and imparted wisdom or giving you some sort of gift like that you can take with your?
I would have to say yes, in multiple instances. There's not one specific moment that I could really sit and explain to you. A lot of the practices that I've had, especially with ancestral connection, were in the land. So anytime I would be hiking or visiting the jungle or asking, I mostly ask if for anything for protection and maybe a little bit of acknowledgement. And there's like little subtle cues in the world, like in the physical space that I'm in, where I acknowledge the presence of my ancestors and can feel them.
One time, just to add to Francesca's story, we were in Tinian. I was living in Tinian, and we were doing yoga all the time. And Francesca, spondylitis is such a important resource to our people ancestrally and today. And Francesca never found a full spondylar shell. And after just asking the ancestors and spending some time in Tinian, she was given a beautiful spondylar shell that she found on the beach, just from, I guess, just trying genuinely to connect to the land and asking ancestors for that gift. And she was given it shortly after she asked, and on the island of Tinian, and it was her first time visiting there. So that was a really special moment that kind of displays and portrays that sort of ancestral connection.
And that is a virtue that lasts today as Chamorros, because, you know, like we tell children all the time, if you want something, you know, you can go up to, you know, an older person or your relative and make sure you ask, and ask nicely. Don't just assume you can take, you know, somebody's extra scoop of rice, or, you know, if they've got some candy, you can just take it. Just ask nicely, and, you know, they will be very generous and very benevolent. Okay, so my next question is, if people are really into this and they're like, this is such a great idea and I want to participate, I want to connect with my culture more, it's Mes Chamorro, you know, I'm all about this, I want to share this with my friends. How much of a yoga rock star do they have to be already? Like, do they have to be on, like, you know, hatha yoga level already? It's like, oh, I've practiced yoga for years and I can do everything. Or is this a very good introduction to yoga as well?
So the 108 sun salutations that we will be doing, if you decide to do it the full 108, which would include like 200 forward bends and 150 push-ups or something like that, you do not have to be at that level to participate meaningfully at all. We will be having 3 different yoga teachers. I will not be the only one, and we will do different variations so that you can tailor your practice to your specific level and to how you're feeling in the moment. And there's also the option, if you would like to just come for meditation, that still is a huge offering of your presence, of your time, of your energy. You don't have to do the physical yoga at all. You can sit and offer pranayama, which is breath. You can offer chants. You can join mantras of the Marianas if you would like. There's more than one way to participate in this event, and the physical aspect is not the end all be all to be a part of it. And awesome. If you want to challenge yourself, you can. And if you feel more called to do any modifications, if you feel more called to do pranayama or just meditation and mantra, then that is all up to you. We're going to leave all of those options open to our participants to do what feels good for them.
Okay, and I know we did have a comment in our comment stream. It was one of Disney's lawyers, and just to Katie's point earlier, we're not going to be chanting "Let It Go" from Frozen and everything. Katie was just illustrating. We want to make sure we respect copyright laws. And so,
I'm sorry for my friend Jason, guys. I'm sorry.
No, I think.
I'm sorry. Did he mess this up?
This is a
Did
fantastic
you mess up their moment, dude?
No, this is a fantastic concept. This is a wonderful way for people of all ages to be able to connect with culture in a way that probably is not the traditional way, but certainly it's very, very effective.
Who took your rice, boy? Who took your scoop of rice? I had to look up, and he was saying something about ask nicely for a scoop of rice.
Yeah, ask it. That's a Chamorro. That's a Chamorro characteristic. If you like, say something, ask, but make sure you ask nicely. Don't just go over there and saki it.
Like my grandma used to say, if you're shy, you don't try. Hey, Monique, I wanted to, if we could, just maybe if you could put on if you guys could, because I know you're all probably with the MCCA, if you could put on your MCCA hats and could, you have any update for us on anything you guys are doing? Because I thought of you guys when there was snowstorming in Texas, because that was just like a totally crazy weather occurrence that, I mean, when we talk about global warming, there's also like global freezing that happens as a part of the global warming equation, right? So if you could, I just wanted to catch you up on anything you guys got going on.
Yeah, Micronesia Climate Change Alliance is very up to date, and we are part of a national network called Climate Justice Alliance, which is doing a lot of work to build resilience and give resources to those in need, especially in places like Texas and other places that are feeling the brunt of climate change and some of the impacts and weather changes that are occurring because of the warming climate and the changes that we're going through. And one of the things that Micronesia Climate Change is doing is flipping the script on traditional activism and doing things like this sacred activism where we're incorporating chant, we're incorporating yoga, we're incorporating holistic wellness into the ways that we want to move forward, because our community needs that sense of healing, and we can only really grow as a community if each of us individually is taking responsibility for our own bodies and for our own selves, and being more accountable to our health and the health of our surroundings and our environment. We're really excited too right now. We are expanding our network throughout Micronesia. We had our very first Pacific Climate Justice Weavers convening, and it's that the Pacific Climate Justice Weavers program is a year-long program with 9 people we hired throughout Micronesia to be the eyes and ears on the ground from the different islands of Yap and Pohnpei and the CNMI and Palau, to come together to strategize, to learn about different climate justice issues, and to learn about the just transition, which is a beautiful process and guiding posts for ways in which we as a region need to be building to be more regenerative and to be more aligned with, in ways that we've always have been ancestrally, with one another, and just more reciprocal and more in tune and harmonious with our environment. And it's really beautiful to connect with different organizers and activists throughout our region, and to start galvanizing and amplifying our voices for our region, because we are at the forefront of the climate crisis, even though we don't contribute to the carbon emission crisis that we're also facing. And we, Francesca and Cami, we brought them back on board to produce a web series, which is going to be focusing on the plastic crisis and the waste crisis that Guam faces currently, and the rest of our region. We also spoke to lots of people throughout Micronesia to talk about ways in which the islands are all innovating to find solutions, and just the point of crisis that we're in regards to waste creation and waste management.
Right.
So that's coming out in April, and we hope to have it out and aired on KUAM as well. And we're really excited because we spoke to some amazing people, and there's really insightful things that we didn't realize, that it's really important for our community to reflect on and know about, that Guam is like one of the top waste creators in the world. We're number 4 in waste generation. Each one of us creates 4.4 pounds of trash a day, and over 600,000 pounds of trash goes to the Lassen landfill every single day. And that's just an incredible, like, we can't even fathom that fact of how much trash we create every day.
Right.
And it's really important for us to be more mindful of that waste that we create.
Well, this is also kind of a off topic, but Francesca, I've noticed you've been taking some pretty epic pictures on your Instagram, but there was one in that you had captioned and made reference to this Guam fashion collective, and it said summer 2021. Is there anything you could share with us on what that's about?
Yes, I can. We just had our first onboarding meeting with some of the new applicants. So Guam Fashion Collective was started by myself, Abby from the Blue Latitude, Rikin, who is Rockin' Rikin on Instagram, and Jessica Kim, who is the owner and creator behind Julia and Jade. And there's also Joey from Tao Pacific Designs and Miracle. And all of us got together because we just are enthusiastic about fashion. And last year we had a lot of time, at least me, myself and Abby, we had a lot of time to brainstorm about fashion and dream about it. And we decided to collectively put our efforts together to put some kind of showcase together and encourage each other to create a full collection. It's my first time creating a full collection by hand. I just learned how to sew in the last year. So
Right.
it's open to anybody in the community who is enthusiastic about fashion and design and is looking for a platform to share their creations. And hopefully our goal is by next year to do a physical event where we have a full Guam Fashion Week. And we really want to encourage each other as creators and create this industry behind makers and especially around fashion, because it doesn't really exist here. Maybe there's a lot of small brands, but there's no fashion scene so far. So it's just us as creators wanting to encourage each other and create our own event. So yeah, that's really exciting. The goal, the timeline is to release a digital presentation by July of this year. So we have a few months. We're still looking at applicants right now. And hopefully by the end of this month, we'll have the full slate ready to go. And then we're gonna just help each other workshop our looks and find models and find photographers and makeup artists. So if you have any of those talents too, anybody listening, give us an email at guamfashioncollective@gmail.com, because we are currently creating a directory around all of these talented people. And we just wanna, find everybody in our community who wants to take part in this and do this thing together.
Awesome. Thank you. Keep us posted.
Yeah, thank you too.
All right, we got to run, but I just wanted to also commend you guys for, a lot of people talk about social media and influencers, and I mean, there's just all kinds here on Island, but I wanted to commend you guys for using your platforms to be voices for, social justice causes. Really, really respect and admire that from you guys. So, thank you so much.
And again, the Yoga Mala event is Saturday at in Umatic, which is March 6th, and it's at the Fort Soledad area right above the Umatic Village.
Nice.
All right.
All right, ladies. Katie,
Thank you.
Francesca, thank you.
You as well.
Hagamos. Moniaka, thank you. All right, there you go. Jay, good job there.
That was a really